Microsoft is planning to purchase Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
69.
Wow.
Like, why stop at 68.7? I'm just show the full 69. Fucking cowards.
I mean, it's being reported by our thumbnail as 69, so I hope you can appreciate what we did for you there. By the way, I legitimately, when you sent me that FDM, I legitimately thought that you were just putting a random number. So you either were going to pick 69 or 420. I was shocked beyond belief to find it was accurate.
You just rounded up just a little bit.
Why not?
So Microsoft has announced its intention to purchase Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion, despite its industry-shattering sexual harassment lawsuit and steadily declining MMORPG, with many believing this decision to be nothing more than an attempt to virtue signal and inject more political nonsense into more beloved IPs. $68.7 billion was selected as the amount, and the deal will allegedly close come June 30th, 2023. So the reason it's going to close on that date is because it's the end of Microsoft's fiscal year. And apparently, because of the scandal, Activision Blizzard shares have dropped over 30% in the last 12 months. So the move is going to grant Microsoft access to Activision Blizzard and its subsidiaries, which include Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, Beenox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity Ward, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, Treyarch, and others still. Some of the franchises Microsoft now own include Call of Duty. Great job, right after the Levi crossover. And when it's definitely not at a low point. Warcraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Overwatch. I wonder if they're gonna crack down on the source filmmaker porn. Spyro, Hearthstone, literally the only thing I care about. Hearthstone, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, StarCraft, and countless others.
Yeah, they have Guitar Hero now, the thing that's been like extinct since 2016 after they revived it briefly.
So actually, Phil Spencer, who is going to be, as we're going to read here, Bobby Kotick will maintain his position of CEO until the transaction is complete. But afterward, Activision Blizzard will strictly obey Phil Spencer, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Phil Spencer was saying in an interview that he was looking to revitalize certain properties from his childhood or whatever. God, that sounds weird. That sounds really weird to think that Phil Spencer's childhood is GarageBand, considering that wasn't even my childhood.
Whoa. There's a lot wrong with your statement there. GarageBand.
I'm sorry, rock band. Whatever it's called.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero. Fuck me. I'm sorry.
Completely different game.
I totally played it. Definitely. You know me. Actually, I played Rock Band, and my band was Wolfpack Ass Attack.
Actually, Random 11 came in at a good time.
Good time.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of potential with so as you said, Call of Duty is like at a low point. How it's like they're just pumping it out every year or so, whatever it is.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. It's obviously, what do you call it? They've reached whatever that point is called, where it's like they're not improving at all. Someone I might argue it's getting worse. So Microsoft, because they're on the spree of we need IPs, we need exclusive games. I think there's a good possibility they're actually going to like put resources into all of these properties to try and make actually compelling, good games to get more people actually want to play Xbox.
Is there anybody out there who doesn't play Xbox that could actually be swayed over at this point? I think it's more than that, actually, and I'll tell you why. Microsoft was saying that, so first of all, if Microsoft if this purchase goes through, which is going to be dependent on regulatory review and approval by Activision Blizzard shareholders, they're going to become the third largest gaming company by revenue, right behind Tencent and Sony. And they also I totally lost my train of thought. God damn it! What were we talking about?
Microsoft getting Blizzard?
Yeah. So the purpose of why they're doing this, which we're going to look at in a minute, and fuck it, I'll just go now. So with Activision Blizzard stock under pressure due to the workplace misconduct problems and disappointing results, I read that. I covered that already. Gaming is the most dynamic and exciting category in entertainment across all platforms today and will play a key role in the development of metaverse platforms. So they're focusing on the metaverse. Microsoft, I almost said Minecraft. Microsoft is going all in on the metaverse, it seems. And I've got to say
Did Phil Spencer say this or something?
No, this was Microsoft's
press release.
Hello, getting lanced. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, current CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, said that. So they're focusing on the metaverse, and here's something that's kind of important to understand. Right now, we are in what you might call the snowflake that has just grazed the top of the iceberg of blockchain technology. As time goes on, I think blockchain technology is going to revolutionize the world in a way that we've never seen before. The closest world revolution we've probably seen in the past was the invention of the internet, which I understand is hard for you to grasp, Foodnum Kuhn, since that was before your time. But what I'm getting at here is that when the internet became a thing, the world as we knew it completely changed. And I think that is going to happen again, possibly 100 times more so than what happened with the internet is going to happen with blockchain technology once we start to use it. And I think that Microsoft is banking on that too. They're looking at the metaverse as the new way to they're going to create an economic ecosystem based around it, right? So, quote, we're investing deeply in world-class content, community, and the cloud to usher, so the cloud meaning like cloud gaming, to usher in a new era of gaming that puts players and creators first and makes gaming safe, inclusive, and accessible to all. Players everywhere love Activision Blizzard games, and we believe the creative teams have their best work in front of them, Spencer said in the statement. Together, we will build a future where people can play the games they want virtually anywhere they want.
As in Xbox Game Pass.
Right. Effiana came to my rescue. Hey, that's how Guitar Hero got started, because of GarageBand. So
well, you know what? If Phil Spencer is willing to revive that franchise, I'll be happy. But I think that's a bit of a stretch. That it's like, specifically Guitar Hero is the one that I grew up with. Well, in my garage band while playing with my Commodore 64 DS.
Well, simultaneously playing with yourself.
Yes.
So under the proposed deal, Microsoft is going to pay $95 per share for Activision Blizzard, which is a 45% premium over its previous closing price. Activision Blizzard stock was up 27% in early trading to about $83 per share, while Microsoft shares were down 0.5%. The deal includes a $3 billion breakup fee. And while we expect this deal to ultimately clear regulators, there will be some inherent speed bumps navigating both the Beltway and Brussels on a tech deal of this size. Acquiring Activision will help jumpstart Microsoft's broader gaming endeavors and ultimately its move into the metaverse with gaming as the first monetization piece of the metaverse in the opinion of whoever wrote that fucking quote, Wedbush Ives.
Dude, we need to make a news service that just has that at the end of every single quote.
What? It just says whoever said that? All right. So
yeah, just like I'm not sure where I got this from. But yeah.
So something that's important to understand is that Sony actually lost $20 billion in their stock value after the announcement. They said, quote, I expect that Microsoft will abide by contractual agreements and continue to ensure Activision games are multi-platform. So imagine that, though, like thinking that Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard could fluctuate the market that severely in against Sony. So when the deal closes, Microsoft plans to include more Activision Blizzard games in its Xbox Games Pass, both new games and those in the back catalog. A remark from Spencer had him saying, quote, Activision Blizzard games are enjoyed on a variety of platforms, and we plan to continue to support those communities moving forward. While some coping World of Warcraft players, blah, 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 let's not read that. So, continuing, I saw this as well. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick allegedly wanted to buy Kotaku and PC Gamer for good PR. Claims that delaying games hurt the stock more than the sexual harassment lawsuit.
Oh, no, the crunch.
Now, oh, really? That's fucking fantastic. So I highlighted a bunch of things here, but they didn't come through, and it said in my app that they were undisplayable. So I'm just going to try to guess what I had covered previously. So Bobby Kotick is reportedly set to not only stay on as CEO following the purchase's completion, but also make roughly $350 million from the acquisition thanks to the shares he owns, with the Wall Street Journal reporting this sum could potentially finalize at up to $390 million. Further, Ibarra noted that the studio had, quote, shared representation data internally with our teams and have set goals to improvement these metrics. I skipped. Hold on. With the buyout coming after months of bad press for Activision Blizzard in light of their being sued by California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for sexual harassment and discrimination in July 2021, Blizzard Entertainment CEO Mike Ybarra declared that the studio's forward efforts will be focused on, quote, rebuilding your trust in Blizzard. These actions include, quote, measuring our executive and management teams directly against culture improvement, the establishment of a diversity, equity, and inclusion leader solely focused on our progress across multiple efforts in this area, and, quote, tripling the size of our compliance and investigation teams and articulating clear accountability for unacceptable behavior.
No.
Yeah. Focusing on the wrong thing. So there's some other interesting stuff in here. It said, amid all of this, Microsoft will also review its own sexual harassment and discrimination policies, along with allegations made against leaders, including company founder Bill Gates. Get fucked. Prior to his stepping down from Microsoft's board in March 2020 to focus on philanthropy, Gates faced a number of philanthropy of which he actually grew his income like double the size or more. Gates faced a number of misconduct accusations, including claims he had an intimate relationship with a female employee in 2019 and sent allegedly flirtatious emails to another in 2008. Further, it's unknown whether the review will also look into why Gates met numerous times with the late pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, or what the two
now
discussed.
We're banned on YouTube.
Anyway, so it's more of the same. There's some stuff about this is kind of funny. Nonetheless, a possible example of the allegations that were not as watertight are the reasons behind the existence of the infamous Cosby Suite, which the lawsuit explains was a BlizzCon 2013 hotel room occupied by senior creative director of World of Warcraft at Blizzard Entertainment, Alex Avsarabi. So named because the now former studio employee was so known to engage in harassment of females that his suite was nicknamed the Crosby Suite. Really? Can't put that in there correctly, banning into comics. After alleged rapist Bill Crosby. You are okay.
Wow.
So no. So this means that the person that they quoted it from fucked up, and they're leaving it in the quote. Okay, I'll give you a pass, bounding into comics. You get a double pass for noticing it and calling them out in your quotation of them. However, some have claimed that this is actually named after the resemblance of the hotel room's carpet to Bill Cosby's signature sweaters, rather than the now overturned rape convictions against him. Any thoughts on Microsoft and or Activision Blizzard and or Bill Cosby sweaters?
My understanding of the Bill Cosby room, although I haven't done like a timeline and research into it, but I'm pretty sure what I heard was they called it the Bill Cosby room before Bill Cosby was arrested and all that shit
Before
went down.
he was Cosby'd.
Yeah.
The Cosby Street.
This is the same thing with the Vic locks at Funimation, where they claimed that they had to create locks because Vic Mignogna would just bust in there and start molesting everybody. When in actuality, it was Johnny Otaku who held Christina V against a wall at a convention. And
at Funimation, though, she doesn't work for Funimation.
well, he told her that he wouldn't let her leave until she got him an interview at Funimation or whatever. And so they put the locks in because, fans were crazy, I guess.
I love the idea that they're just okay with Vic molesting everyone for some reason, and it's just like, okay, just put on the locks and that'll take care of it. That's fine. Let's not report him to the police or anything.
Well, the thing was that they weren't about Vic. That
I know.
That was an after the fact thing.
But this alternative
But the mental
Right.
gymnastics to get there is just
Right.
funny.
The other thing I was going to say, I don't know if you brought it up, but apparently with the quote from Sony saying like, well, we hope that, they'll honor the contracts and keep everything multi-platform. Microsoft came out and said, I think it was Phil Spencer, came out and said, I had a talk with Sony execs, and we've relayed our, I think he said something like our
intentions,
commitment, our intentions to keep the contracts and our desires to going forward keep Call of Duty on Sony PlayStation as multi-platform.
Nah, they need to serve Sony back for stealing Final Fantasy from us. Screw that.
Well, the wording the wording is if you look at it carefully, you can kind of see like, okay, they are going to honor the contracts, but when it comes to keeping COD multi-platform, it's like, oh well, we want to, but Sony's probably going to have to pay for that. So currently the games that are currently under contract are probably going to stay multi-platform, just like with
the sequels.
Yes, just like with when they absorbed Bethesda, Deathloop stayed on PlayStation and stuff, but going forward, the new Elder Scrolls games are going to be exclusive to Microsoft. So I can see them doing
so funny
the same
that they
thing.
made. They had Obsidian make a clone of Fallout, and then they were announcing their clone of Elder Scrolls, and then they just bought Bethesda. So it's like, well, now they're double dipping. They have 2 Elder Scrolls on their console exclusives.
Yeah. I also found it funny that they were like, well, now that Microsoft owns us, we at Blizzard, we're going to be like way better now. Cool. Not the sexual harassment stuff.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
rats, we can't molest people anymore.
no, but like people forget that, they were getting shat on because they were like, they had that press conference where they're like, well, doesn't anyone have phones?
Right. In fact, that was actually the thing that they mentioned in that article where they had thought of buying Kotaku and PC Gamer in order to create propaganda to make their games sell better.
Yeah.
And they were saying that the launch of Diablo and all these other things saw their stock prices drop. And I'm like, right, it was the delays.
Yeah.
It was the delays that caused that.
Dude, I hope Microsoft ensures that they get their heads out of their ass and don't have a Diablo Immortals like, oh, we need to go mobile with this and just microtransact everyone.
There was also
I'll be honest, I think it's going to go more and more into the mobile world because they are trying to force everybody into this metaverse gaming. And they want you to be able to do it on mobile.
I really
while
think
you're
priorities are just gaining back the audience and becoming the dominant platform that people want to go to because they're still lagging behind.
Look, I don't know. I think Microsoft's goal, they want to own properties to have this like exclusive hold on big properties. I think that they're like they bought Minecraft.
They have no exclusives. That's why they're doing it.
They bought Minecraft, and now they're going to own World of Warcraft and StarCraft and whatnot,
and combine them. They're all craft. The craft collection.
The craft verse.
That would be
the craft
hilarious. But I feel like they're attempting to buy up anything that takes up large amounts of people's gaming time, right? And they want a piece of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, man. Games Pass is one thing, I don't know how they're going to market it to you and how they're going to continue to, because I don't game. I've never used Xbox Game Pass. I've never really played an Xbox, so I don't know how they're going to use Games Pass to monopolize on people's gaming time in order to monetize it. But I definitely think that Metaverse is where where Microsoft is trying to steer the direction of things.
Well, as a gamer, of course, that's what you'd think would be the number one priority.
Well, yeah.
But
okay.
What? I was gonna say, I watched the start of the One Rekieta stream where he was just ripping into Sony over the new acquisition Microsoft did. He's like, dude, Sony stocks are plummeting, and screw Sony because they did all their stupid censorship crap.
Yeah,
I love it. Screw Sony.
So, any more thoughts on Microsoft and or Activision Blizzard?
The other thing that Blizzard was had an issue with was the Chinese issue where that Hong Kong player came out.
Blitzchung?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Free Hong Kong? Yeah, for Hearthstone.
So I found it funny that they're going on about like, oh, we're gonna have a inclusion person or whatever. Meanwhile, like, yeah, okay, well, we still want China.
Yeah,
we're still gonna do that. The directors and all that kind of stuff aren't going to be leaving at Blizzard, so presumably, at least for years anyway. So it's not like Blizzard's going to be radically changing all that much. Well, so all of that kind of shit's still going to be in play.
And all the breast milk stealing is still going to happen.
That's right.
The one thing that I do kind of
all the youth bathwater
hope that happens is Activision folded in some studios into like dumb roles. Like they took Vicarious Visions, who made the recently made the new Tony Hawk remaster game, and they made
Crash and Spyro as well. The remake.
They made some of those. Well, Toys for Bob did the Spyro one, but they did. They did Crash.
They own that as well.
And so they do own Toys for Bob. So they folded Vicarious Visions into Blizzard. They're just like, we're gonna disintegrate Vicarious Visions, and you're all gonna work at Blizzard now. Like they were owned by Blizzard, obviously, but now you're just gonna be absorbed, and you're gonna work on World of Warcraft tech support. And they did the same thing for Toys for Bob. I heard.
I'm gonna step out for just a second. I'll be right back.
Where they folded it into Call of Duty support, like. So hopefully now Microsoft can be like, well, actually, those games sold really well. How about we get those people back on making new versions of more games like that?
This is
instead
what
of just,
my optimism thinks for this whole situation is that Microsoft is going to like straighten some things out, like how Activision turned into like one of the most greedy microtransaction whatever battle royale companies in the world, and they might just like straighten things out, like, okay, we need you guys to like focus on making games, and as you say, they might like unabsorb studios and stuff because they want like first party like exclusives to be pumped out. They need all they can.
yeah. Now, the one thing that is scaring me is that Microsoft has made a number of moves where, they make the move and then it's like, oh, that's shit. And then they're like, oh, just kidding, bro.
Like,
Yeah, like
What
when
did
they
they
announced
kid about?
when they announced the Xbox One originally, right? They were like, oh, it's online only, and they announced some good features like you could share games and all this stuff. But then
Was that
I mean-
not Don Matrick or whatever who's in charge then? Because Phil Spencer literally
was-
took over and everything started going up.
Yeah, it was before Phil Spencer, and that's why they basically Phil Spencer got promoted because of this fuck up. So everyone hated it, and then they were like, "Oh, just kidding. We're gonna be normal." Because Sony destroyed them with that one commercial where it was like, "This is how
Yeah,
you share
the commercial
games
was
on
like, "This is
Sony."
how you share games." Oh, gee,
And
the Chupacabra's out.
the other
Okay.
one, the other one that they did was more recently was they were like, we're going to be
I'll be right back.
raising Xbox Live Gold prices like insane amount. Like basically they were going to raise it so that Xbox Live Gold cost almost the same as Game Pass. And everyone flipped out, and then they're like, just kidding, bro.
Actually, Gold is now included with Game Pass.
It was always included with Game Pass, but what they were basically doing was they were going to say, without actually doing it, they were trying to just say, we're getting rid of Xbox Live Gold. It's all just going to be Game Pass. So they were trying to raise the price so much to the point where it was like, you may as well just get Game Pass. And then I would assume the plan was in a few years when everyone's
force
on
you.
Game Pass, they just say, okay, never mind, we're getting rid of
Crank
Gold.
it.
Yeah, but they backed off on that one, and they're like, just kidding. And then as part of that, they were like, as a way of saying sorry, we're going to make free-to-play games not require gold anymore. Okay, well, that's a
Oh,
good
hell
decision.
yeah.
But now going forward, like how many, especially with the metaverse shit, like if they have so the two big like cloud providers in the industry for just anything in the cloud is Amazon with their AWS servers and Microsoft with their Azure servers. So if they become the dominant player, like Facebook's obviously trying to position itself as the dominant player for metaverse, but if Microsoft can edge that out, and we see a
I'm just so ready for the next topic.
if we see that battle of similar aspects to Microsoft and Apple, and Microsoft won that battle, if they win that against Facebook, once they get into a position where they're the metaverse person or company, we might start seeing these decisions that they're not kidding anymore, and it's like so all companies are
all I
not
know is
generally
that
your friends.
I think this is going to be the year where stuff starts to move, right? And it's going to be uncomfortably fast. Or, equally likely, World War III with Russia and China. It's on the table. I've been talking about it probably since the start of the podcast. Here it comes.
Well, all I know is that the gamers seem to be, they're vocal enough that the Microsoft has been backing down over their bad decisions, and
So far.
even like the Halo thing, you'd think that they'd just ignore it or something, but they even addressed it. I can't remember what the specific issue was, but
With Halo, It was
Yeah, Halo Infinite had one really specific thing that people are bitching about.
no.
and,
I mean, there's been multiple things.
I know, but there's this one specific one that they did address. I'm like, oh, okay, really?
So the first issue was it looked like shit, and then they're like, just kidding, we're gonna delay it a year.
No, it was after it launched.
Okay,
the multiplayer or something.
The other issue, the other big issue was the way the progression system worked, where in order to progress in the battle pass, like it was basically you had to do very specific things to progress in the battle pass. If you just played, if you're like, I'm just gonna play, likelihood of you progressing in the battle pass was almost zero. So then they turn around and they're like, okay, well, we'll include some, like, all you have to do is play and you'll get XP challenges, they're called. We'll include some of those. So you get, I think, like 7 or 8 where it's like, yeah, okay, all you have to do is play a game and you'll get XP. So you could grind it out without doing specific challenges like assassinate 10 enemies. That would be like a challenge. But that one wouldn't be so bad. But then they get more specific, like, win 5 big team battles or
throw a grenade while doing a 360 no scope.
Well, not so much that, but I mean, there are hard ones and you can swap them out. But the ones that annoyed people were like, do this in this game mode or use this weapon. And it's like, I don't want to play that game mode. I don't want to use that weapon. So they capitulated on that. And then the third thing that they did was the cash shop was really expensive. And so they're like, okay, well, just recently they were like, we're going to reduce the cost of the items in the cash shop. So